All right, everybody, it is time for my favorite part of every single video that we do. It is time to make the list. As I always encourage, please feel free to comment along or send an email, eatsleeplistpod@gmail.com. That email is always in our descriptions. If you want to send your personal positive affirmations, I'd love to hear them. And who knows, maybe something that you talk to yourself about is something that can rub off and help me out or help somebody else out that is rifling through the comments. This show, as I have always preached, is about you. I talk through my top 10s. I open up. I make it seem a little bit more comfortable to express yourself. At least that's what I hope to do more often than not. And you comment along. All right? Aside from the political values list, everything that I discuss on these shows is meant for open dialogue and for you to start thinking, to think freely, and to list what you like. All right? But this is my personal positive affirmations. I will be clear that I am well aware of my shortcomings, but that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is to talk about the positive stuff, owning it, being proud of who we are and what we are, and acknowledging it, to give us, to add some positivity, maybe a little dopamine to the mind and get us on the right track every day. So here we go, my top 10 positive affirmations. Number 10, I am accountable. I am super proud of this one because there was a point in time where I loved finger pointing. And I'm sure we all know somebody who loves finger pointing. They take no blame for their actions, and everybody else is the reason for all of their troubles. I haven't been like that in a couple of years. All right, I'm not perfect at it. I know I could do better. Again, acknowledging my shortcomings. But I'm pretty proud that if I mess up, I can own it. All right, and if I do something good, I can own it. All right, if I screw up at work or at home, yes, I did it. And I could deal with the repercussions. And in fact, maybe some days I'm a little too accountable, maybe a little over accountable. Some might say. But I think there's good in being accountable. I don't run away from my problems. All right? I take them head on. And the repercussions for whatever happens, I deal with them. It is what it is. And I feel, and I know I'm a better person for it, because I am surrounded by a lot of very unaccountable people. And that's my number 10. Number 9. I create with purpose and passion. Every single video that we do is created with purpose and passion. It stems from emotion, an emotional desire to talk about certain things. All right, it starts off with an idea, then it becomes an obsession, and then it comes to this handy-dandy notebook. Covering up some of my entries here. It goes to this notebook, and then it becomes a video where it is talked about, discussed for you, and then edited. I love everything that I talk about. All right, I feel passionate for everything that I talk about, and even outside of this, I write blogs, right, for my friend the Tank in his Tank Talk podcast, sports podcast show. And I don't do it because, I'm a good writer or because I think I'm going to have a future in journalism. But I do it because I love it and I'm passionate about it. And I'm also helping out a friend in that regard. So to me, creativity, that is something that I'm very, very proud of, is is love. To me, it's me expressing my love for the world, for things that exist in this world. And yeah, I'm very proud of everything that I do. Everything that I do, whether I switch it to private or not. Number 8, I am smarter than I give myself credit for. And this one's a tough one because I am around a lot of people who have felt comfortable to talk down to me over the years. I can't count how many times I've been called stupid or a moron or an idiot or a dumbass or any variety of intelligence insults. All right. I like I've dealt with it a lot. I've dealt with it a lot. And it's hurt the most because it's come from people who I love and care about the most. But I am smart. I may not be college educated, but I have life experience. I have life experience. I failed a lot. I have overcome quite a bit. All right, maybe my path isn't as difficult as some others, but I'm pretty smart and I know what to do. And it stinks that people still feel the need to doubt me or insult my intelligence, but I know, like, there's stuff that I am good at that people have no idea, how to do. People come to me asking questions about stuff all the time. People who sometimes, more often than not, are not very kind to me. And I help them anyways. I'm well read. I've is that the right term for it? I don't know. But I've read like a lot of books on self-help and intelligence and strategy and all sorts of things. And like I know, just because I don't talk all the time, all right, just because I don't talk all the time in my personal life and whatnot, doesn't mean I'm dumb. I'm observing and maneuvering. And I'm pretty proud of that. So, number 8, I am smarter than I give myself credit for. Number 7, I am a good friend. I've been a bad friend. We did a whole episode on it back when we first started this show, to be honest with you. Probably like March, way back in March. I know what I bring to the table. I know how much I'm willing to give. And again, I know my shortcomings in this department, but I know what I bring to the table. I will, if you need me, I will be there. And I think, to me, that is the most important trait you can have as a friend, is being there when people need you most. It's not about how often, really. It's about the important stuff. And I like to think that I'm pretty generous with my friends. And I don't say that arrogantly, but I like to take care of my friends. I like to do nice things for my friends. When I feel they absolutely deserve it, or even just because I know that's how I would like to be treated as a friend. Yeah, I am a good friend. And that's my number 7. Number 6, I wore this shirt on purpose because it is my number 6. Whoop. Took the long route there. I am stronger than my darkest days. And Lord knows I have had my darkest days. Some of them have been public. A lot of them have been private. But I am so much better than what my worst moments are. And I can only hope that people, when they look at me, when they talk about me, that they look at the positive stuff. They don't look at my worst moments and hold it against me for all time. And whether they do or not, that is not my problem. But I know that my lowest moments are few and far between. And I know that I'm a good person. and I know what I bring to this, what I have to offer. Everybody goes through bad stuff. Everybody goes through bad stuff. If you are continually hampered by the bad stuff, then it's time, it's time to break that bad habit. But yeah, everybody's due a bad day or a bad couple days. Life is not perfect. All right. I've witnessed some of the most positive people in my life have some absolute low moments. And I've never held that against them. At least I don't think. One bad moment shouldn't ruin years of a relationship. One microcosmic bad moment shouldn't ruin all of the good. And I feel that way about myself. And yeah, I can be a little overbearing sometimes. I can be quite whiny and quite negative. But those days are few and far between. And I am proud of that. My number 5. My strength is greater than I realize. I've been through a lot in my life. I've gone through, I've dealt with people who, again, have insults about my intelligence and, everything that I've gone through with relationships and socializing with friends and having to watch people talk badly about you out in the open. And I'm still here. I'm still persevering. And I think, even with that political values list in the comment section and how hard it was to realize that, again, as I said at the top of the show, years ago, that would have been it. This, I think I said it. I've re-recorded this a couple of times, as I typically say. But this YouTube channel would have been done. I would have been like, all right, I'm done. I'm not talking on YouTube anymore. I'm done. But I'm still here. And I'm proud of that. I'm proud of that. Even, I have not had it nearly as bad as a lot of people. I will admit that. But I've taken some abuse in my day. All right, I've taken some abuse. And I'm still here. And I'm still going. And there was plenty of low moments. But I'm here. And I'm proud of that. So that's my number 5. Number 4, I grow through everything that I experience. Those hard times, that failure, I don't really this is a thing that I tend to think about. Man, when I fail, do I really lose? It stings in the moment, but I tend to learn from my mistakes. Every bit of failure is a lesson and an opportunity to get better. Again, going back to the political values list. Again, it's something that I will not touch again on this channel. Absolutely will not. All right? It was a lesson learned. High school sports. Nothing more embarrassing than getting beat on a high school wrestling mat or getting benched or yelled at by a coach. So I grow, and I do better the next time in order to make sure of that, and that is growth. All right, we've talked about growth and how on this show. We did a whole growth list, if I'm not mistaken, and talking about how we deal with failure. If you keep making the same mistakes over and over again, then you deserve the repercussions of that. And trust me, I have made a lot of mistakes over and over again, like a dummy. Good self-talk there, Matthew. But now I don't know. I know what I like and I don't like, and I don't like being talked to certain ways. I don't like being on the losing end or having that gut-wrenching feeling of really a failure constantly. So I take it and I grow through it. And I tend to feel that every day I'm a better version. All right, I've adapted, I've grown. So that's my number 4. Number 3, I am a hard worker. And this applies at my job and with everything else that I do. All right, at my job, hard work tends to go unnoticed, whether they want to say it or not. It is easier to be a hard worker, a worker that it does not work hard where I work and many other places. I think many hard workers can attest to that there is sometimes no benefit to being a good worker. But I take pride in what I have to offer. You know, last week was hard because I did really good packing stuff. All right, I work in a factory, and I pack stuff out one week, and I load trucks the other. And I worked extra hard because I was really hoping for an opportunity at Saturday overtime, which I did not get. But even knowing that overtime opportunity was not coming, I still had a really, really good week. And whether it went noticed or not, I don't know. Usually tends to go unnoticed, but I know that I worked hard. I know I did a good job. And I leave it. I make sure that you will never, ever, that no boss will ever, ever be able to look at me and say you are not a good worker. There was a long stretch of time where I was not a good worker, openly admit. But now, maybe I am arrogant. But I think out of the probably nearly 100 people that my job employs, I would say I'm a top 10%er. I would. And that sounds arrogant as all heck, but I know what I'm worth. And even outside of work, this show, spending time writing these shows out, in editing and recording them. These recording sessions are not as easy. Like you guys see a very small amount of what makes it to the floor. Like there's times where I spend an hour and a half, 2 hours recording one video because I can just not get through it. And sometimes it's like, I don't know, like, should I just give up? Should I throw in the towel? But no, like, I want to get this done. I feel passionately about this. I want to get it done. Let's do it. And I work hard at it. And then not only that, I'm, I do the blog stuff for my buddy Tank. And I do other things. Like, I stay busy. I always have extracurricular activities because it just gives me purpose. And I feel good doing it. So I am a hard worker. That is my number 3. Very proud of that. My number 2, I am a great husband. And maybe I don't get the credit that I feel like I should for it. Maybe I don't. I don't know. Some people might look at it as, hey, you're just being a husband. And that should be like, it doesn't deserve credit. I feel like I endure a lot. And I go through a lot. And I don't, like, the positivity stuff is hard in that regard. It's hard. I run around like a maniac to make my wife's life as easy as I possibly can. And it's not perfect all the time, but I know the effort that I give. And even, again, when I don't get the credit that I feel I should, or don't get the appreciation that I feel like I deserve sometimes, I know what I have to offer. And I sleep good at night knowing that I've done all that I possibly could, that I've given everything that I possibly could to make something work. So that's my number 2. I am a great husband. My number 1, I am a great dad. I am a great dad. and I know it. I believe it. Uh, I see, like, it hurts my soul when I see people who don't want to be parents get to be parents, right? They never wanted kids, but they had them, and the level of involvement you see is like painful to watch. And to each their own, to each their own. I can only be a great dad. I cannot tell others to be great dads or parents, so to speak. And the ultimate litmus test of this will be how my son views me. Someday, he may look at me and say that, oh, Dad, you're too overbearing, or Dad, you're too annoying, or Dad, get that phone camera out of my damn face. But for right now, I see how my son reacts when he wakes up. He smiles. He says, Dada. Or how he cries when I'm going to work. That breaks my heart, too. I hate that. Or how he lights up and runs to me when I come home from work. We do stuff. We stay busy. If we get the opportunity, me and my kid are out and about. We are going on adventures. We are going on nice walks. We are seeing stuff. And while he may not remember that stuff in a couple of years, as his memory starts to develop, as things start to be forgotten, I know what I have to offer as a dad. I have a great dad to model myself after. And now I'm really adding my own twists and so much more on all that. And I'm very proud of who I am as a dad. So there it is, everybody. The top 10 personal positive affirmations. Speak kindly to yourself. Be kind to yourself. Accentuate. Be proud of your good. All right? You're probably a lot better than you give yourself credit for, and probably a lot better than other people give you credit for. And you're probably better than other people sometimes give you credit for. All right? I love you all. Believe in yourself. And we'll be back on Friday with some fun list stuff. Till then, do you even list?